So I just wanted to come back this week and do something on the NBA Eastern Conference since, last week I did my thoughts about the NBA Western Conference. So let's get into it. We're gonna go down the teams and tell you what I think and my thoughts. So number one right now is Detroit. While they've had just like an incredible season, and I always say it like since their resurgence, I just love their grit and the way they do it. I think they really deserve that number one spot, and the fact that they've had consistency is pretty incredible. But my only thing is them staying in the number one spot and having success in the playoffs has to do with Kate Cunningham's health. Unfortunately, he has a collapsed lung, and it happens. But he is the driving force in that team, and honestly, hate to say it, but they don't go anywhere without him. So, and number two is the Boston Celtics, and honestly, like what they've done this season is just it's just incredible. And you really got to give the credit to Jaylen Brown for holding down the fort while Jason Tatum has been injured. But there's something about Jason Tatum that I feel like he came back and was a little selfish, like just for the fact that he wanted to prove it to himself that he's coming back ahead of schedule and stuff like that. But it it almost seems like they kind of have just been following Jaylen Brown, so now it's like kind of hard to shift the we have another leader on the team. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but it just right now, Jason Tatum with the Celtics kind of feels like weird. Maybe he's still getting his feet under him and stuff, but I don't know. But to me, they're still a force, and that's why they're number two. And right now, you know, I think there's about like 10 games left, and they're about 5 games out. So they could eclipse Detroit if Detroit just really collapses right now. So and number three is the Knicks. The Knicks, they've been doing good. There's been a lot of criticism on the way they play this year, and my thing is, statistically they could do it, but I just feel like and this is weird saying about a New York Knicks team, but there's some kind of issue where it feels like they're soft. I don't know what it is. I mean, maybe it's Cat. Like, sometimes when I hear him talk in press conferences or, like, post game, anything, I just feel like he just says the most cliche-ish, like, stuff. Caught myself. Um, and it's almost like, people don't take him serious because I feel like you can't believe what he says. I don't know, it's just weird. But, he's putting up big man numbers and, Brunson's out right now, and there's just something about him that when it gets to the postseason, when it gets to the NBA playoffs, it's there's something soft about them. And they could totally flip that switch in the playoffs, but that's my opinion. I feel like there's something soft about them right now, and they gotta really turn it on. So number four, the Cavs. I mean, I think it was a real good pickup to get James Harden, and Donovan Mitchell is still doing his thing, but I don't know about them. Maybe they're not just as publicized as everybody else, but and maybe they're a sneaky team, but I can't really gauge if the Cavs are going to do better than they usually do in the playoffs simply by adding James Harden, a famous playoff choker. So I don't know about the Cavs. I'm really undecided about them. And the Raptors, that's crazy. The Raptors are number 5. That is crazy. Like, I think a lot of the youth is just, like, coming up right now, so, like, the Raptors, I like the way BI plays, he's really a force, and you wouldn't think so, but I guess he really found his home in Toronto, and other than that, I mean, you got Scotty Barnes too, but I think they're very like, a real, like, new team to, like, being successful right now, like a new group, so as far as in the playoffs, I can't see them, like, really doing anything. I would see them as, like, a first round exit. And now we go to the Hawks. You know, unfortunately, the ex-Warrior, Jonathan Kuminga, has really been, helping out this team, adding another force, either starting or off the bench. And, they've been having win streaks and they look like a real youthful team. Like on the other hand, like I was talking about Toronto, I think the Hawks could actually, because they're so youthful, they got so many young like shooters that I feel like they could possibly shock someone in the first round of the playoffs. So I think definitely the Hawks are on the right direction. Um and yeah, they should re-sign Kaminga, even though it came out that they're both gonna I guess the Hawks and Kuminga are gonna, like, mutually, I guess I don't know what I forget what he said, like, maybe, they're gonna do away with the Warriors deal that was signed last year. So, who knows if he stays in Atlanta? Maybe he just gets a bigger extension. So, the future is bright for Atlanta, definitely. But, number 7, the 76ers, I don't, I don't believe in them, especially with Tyrese Maxey out. I just don't believe in them. Embiid, like he's unreached potential, and I don't know. I just I can't say anything good about the 76ers. Like when Paul George is there, like you can't even notice him. Like so I just don't have a good feeling about the Sixers. I don't think they do anything in the playoffs. So now we go to number 8, which is the Magic. And honestly, I'm kind of disappointed in the Magic because coming into the season, I expected them maybe in the first 4 slots of the Eastern Conference, and they've really underachieved. I know Paulo was I know Paulo was out for a good deal of time, but it still doesn't make up for, they really underachieved in my opinion, especially with acquiring, Desmond Bain and everything. So, yeah, very, very disappointing season, I gotta say, for the Orlando Magic. And then we go. My mic keeps going out, but anyway, um, now we go to, like the Hornets. They're at number 9. They are a team that they went on a streak, and I think